Welcome to part 3 of the install. I said that part 3 would probably be the review, but part 2 is getting other things going. Let me explain what's happened so far. I bought a 10-foot DisplayPort extension for the living room. And the problem with the 10-foot extension is it's too long. Not that it's too long to use, but the signal degradation actually existed. And wearing signal degradation in a virtual environment is one of the scariest things I've ever experienced, because you get like red and green snow like everywhere, and it's like, oh, it's everywhere. And then panels of textures start flashing and disappearing, and no. So 10-foot was too long, so I immediately ordered a 6-foot and a 3-foot. Here is the 3-foot extension, and these are all cable matches. They're really well built. 10-foot was too long, 6-foot seems to have no issues. So this part of the video, now that I've got the lighthouses up, we're going to do cable management, because here is where it plugs in. And I'm going to run that 6-foot extension through the wall entirely with the USB extension. The 10-foot USB extension is fine. And I'm going to bring the full umbilical to about here. We could disable my current system of magnetic holds and stays. That one's nice and simple. And this was made out of a shoelace. Because shoelaces are cool. I tied this knot. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is deal with the cable management, which I may have to move this box and clear out my table, my space a little bit. So I've ordered this set. There'll be a link to this set. I unboxed it already. And it comes with these. It comes with 6 of these. And what they are is basically just a stretchy motherfucker. That is a steel cable. And has adjustments here and adjustments here. And it's got this infinitely spinning thing there, which I don't need, because if I'm infinitely spinning, something's very wrong with the way you're using VR. One of the biggest problems I've found so far is not the wire getting pulled. It's you get into a virtual environment, and as a person you turn left more than you turn right. So I turn left 15 times and right 5 times, and guess what? My cable now has a twist in it like this. So that's not going to be solved by those things spinning around. There is an application, I think it's called Turn Spin Right or something like that. I know those are tips, but I think it's also called Spin Right, that will count as you're in VR how many times you've turned a direction, so you don't fuck your cable up. I've literally had the cable go like from straight to twisted to having that weird quink loop in it, and that's a nightmare. So I don't want that. So I'm gonna get that application installed so I could see in virtual reality how many times I need to turn back to the right, because I was asking Pasta, because you're blind too. You're like, is it done yet? Am I done unspinning it? Is it done? And she's like, no. Nope. Oh, you went the wrong way. And you're like, fuck, you just went the other way. So that's what I have to look forward to in VR forever, until absolutely true wireless VR comes out, which I'm not sure when that's gonna be. Because right now there's a lot of stuff going on there, and I don't think it has the processing power. Step 1, get all the extensions and everything through there. Turn signal, that's the one. Thank you. I thought it was called Spin Right. Turn signal is the correct one. I'm currently live streaming again, which is why everyone in the live stream is hearing static. I shouldn't need to use any of these things that it came with. It came with these hooks and anchors, which if you're just permanently installing it in your room, that's fine. It also came with these sticky pads, which I'm assuming if you're renting or something, you would just use these sticky pads. They attach and you have hooks. I, on the other hand, bought all these magnets, these little looped magnets, eye hook magnets, because that's metal and this is metal, and I shouldn't need to touch anything between here and there. What I do plan to do, though, obviously, because I've said it a million times in the previous videos, is I don't want my living room to look like a VR living room. That's why the lighthouses are very nicely tucked away in the corners on white things, and I might even put like a white veil over them so you don't see them so much. And I want to be able to walk here with my headset and go click, let go of a stick, something like a blind stick, something like this, plastic cheap, with magnets on the end of it. I want to walk with it with my headset. I want it to go click, and then everything's set up to go. This part would not have to be adjusted at all. So I'm gonna do that now. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the wires through the wall. You don't have to watch that, so I'm going to pause. Okay, so I've made a decision. Changing up my plans a little bit. Instead of having this entire assembly like this, which I have modified in case you do not recognize, this is the way it comes by default. Here's how I've got it modified with the magnet. Double rubber band instead of single, and then I've shortened this and removed a bunch of the bullshit. And I've decided that I'm gonna go with 2 of these, double it up, leave them up there. There's no reason for me, because I'll never be able to get this magnet exactly where I want to get this magnet. Let me see if I can show it to you on camera. There's a C junction here, so I can hit the side, which is not as strong, or get it in the middle, and it's like I could yank the whole thing down. So I'm gonna permanently mount 2 of these up there. And then, instead of, what I've basically done is I went nuts. I went nuts. I got this giant nut that I bought for my air conditioner install, which is steel. And now I'm going to have, well, if I can get that on the wire, that would be insane, but I can't get that on the wire. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to permanently affix it to the both of these pulls using something. Either I should even go around this and have nothing holding it on, because this is just a loop lock. So I could loop lock around this with 2 of them, and then attach 1 magnet to the wire with a zip tie or something. Because once this touches this, like the strength to get that off from a straight pull is insane. So if I want to just get it off, I just break it this way and take it off. But once it's a hanging thing, I should have no issues with it ever detaching. When I'm done for the day, I pull the wire down, I go cook, take the wire, this will retract up to the ceiling, there'll be a nut hanging there. I could paint it black. Hell, I could put this in a black bag. I could put the whole thing in a sack. It'll never affect the magnetism of that. So I will literally need 2 more magnets to attach, and then this magnet will be what actually attaches and detaches. So the nut will stay up there. When I want to attach, I should be able to take the wire from the headset and literally just lift it up and have it go click. Or I could get a little hook. Someone in the chat said, why don't you just get a stick with a nail in it? Anything, I could just go up there, or a stick with a magnet on it. Go up there, retrieve the nut, bring it down, stick my other magnet on it from my wire, detach this, and then I'm good to go. So I know I said I was going to pull the wire out of the wall, but I had brain inertia. That's a thing, right? Brain inertia. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify a second one of these, and we're going to attach it to the nut, and we're going to go from there. All right, here's what I've got. Here's what I now have. I now have 2 magnetized hanging things with doubled up rubber bands. I've got them wired directly through this nut. And then that nut is going to be the pivot that all the wires hang down on. That didn't hurt at all. It's because I said God sucks once back in like 3rd grade. That was the noise of, it's fine. I'm a man. I'm a man, I can take it. I didn't feel that. What the fuck's wrong with you? What, are you gonna clip that on my Twitch? So, okay. So I'm tightening up these, because these shouldn't rotate. Nothing here should rotate. Everything should be nice and solid. Boom. Boom. These should never have to come down again. They could stay far apart, a little bit farther apart than that. All right. So now this nut. Oh, this. Do you know how fucking strong these magnets are? I could hang this from. The question is, can I let this go? How many times can I let that go before that breaks? The speed is my issue. So I only needed 2 out of the fucking 6 for here. I may also do something here that lets me bring the excess cable over. Well, that's it. There's not going to be any weight in it. It's just going to be that. When it's time, the wire itself is going to have, I'm talking to people. This is what's going to be on the wire. So the wire is going to come over. I'm going to go, whoop. That's it. Now my wire is attached. Okay, I'm fine. And then I'm going to detach it with a twist and let go. We'll see if I need to add a third one, because now I've got the weight of a nut on there and the weight of the wire, and I'm not exactly like hanging the headset from it. Just gotta make sure it lifts it up. So now I'm gonna pause the video and feed the wire through the wall and move this whole thing out of the way. Check this fucking table. Fuck! All right. Headset. I am in the farthest corner of where I should be able to stand. If that's not here, daybed, speakers, I should be able to stand here comfortably. Here, comfortably. So now, with the 6-foot extension and pulled through the wall, we are just about ready to start dealing with this. So I'm gonna put this, I have to figure out where I'm attaching this to, because when I walk to the middle, it has to come up and be basically at the resting position and then pull out only when I'm here. So what I need is to like, I need this to like sit here magically. Magically stay here. Because that's like the big test. Nah, I don't trust that at all. I think I'm just gonna I'm gonna attach to that and then start sliding back and forth. Because it needs to be pulled as I'm over here, and then as I walk back, retract to the ceiling. I'm not crazy, by the way. I am live streaming as a reminder, and I'm talking to people. When I'm standing directly under it, it should be nearly at the top. I don't want it to stretch out as long as possible. Actually, that's what I gotta deal with. It's got plenty of pull. I gotta have it so that there could be a child here, or a really tall person here, and that's gonna be near the top. All right, so basically what I'm doing now is I'm taking, I had a white wire tie. Did I throw that out? I think I threw it out, or I didn't have one. Oh, there it is. I had one between the magnets. Hold, please. I want to be able to mark the wire without actually drawing on the wire, and this is going to do marvelous things. I'm the best. Just accept it. Accept my bestitude, please. Okay. Here, I need it to be in like a resting position. There to standing on this bottom step is not stable. 6 foot height, standing. I want this to be retracted, or at least almost. There's some weight here, so it's definitely going to be like, I meant to put a third one, or four of them here. I meant to just do multiple ones up here, because the weight of the wire and then pulling it. Yeah, I know, because it's going to have to. I think this is the spot. I'm gonna wrap the wire here. I didn't have to mark it with the wire tie. So now, how I'm going to do that, put that down on something soft. Since this is the spot I want to try, and since this kit did come with a shit ton of these really good rubber bands, these probably the least damaging things, I'm going to just do basically this. Take like 7 of them, do that, and now we do this. I'm actually gonna use part of this kit for this. So many rubber bands, so many. Squeeze hard, Zeos. Did I get them all? Yep. And now I'll take one of the magnets, and I'll be able to get this through here. This is the most compact system I could think of. Come on. Boom. So now the question is, can I retrieve it? No, I'm gonna have to get a, what's it called, to get that down. It's gonna have to be a stick. For now, I'll just climb the ladder. But it's gonna be like, boop. Because it does hang down into a little triangle. I don't know, you think I need to go 3 out? I'm not feeling the resistance on the wire, and I think that that's gonna loosen up over time, is my concern. I mean, it wouldn't be, this should not be like hanging down that far. I could leave it at 2 and then add a 3rd. I'm also going to, this should not be like draped down like this. This will be up here and held on with another one of those. It could be almost fixed because I got to figure out how much it drapes. Do that. Stay wire, stay. The reason they do multiple is because this has to get pulled that way also. It's not just down, it's down and out in Beverly Hills. So I'm probably gonna have to put another retractable setup on this side to pull slack outward. The question is, am I doing 3 up there? I think I'm doing 3 up there because I was worried that it was gonna feel heavy and then I was walking away. But I'm just as like a person with this on his hands, I feel like that's doing... The problem with putting on my head and seeing is I'm wearing a GoPro to currently live stream and record this. 2 might be fine. I mean, 2 could be fine. And it's doing a good job of pulling it back, even with this like extra weight. Like, it's not gonna bother anyone. All right, I'm gonna leave it at 2. I have them, I can always add a 3rd. It'll just go click, whoop, done. It just won't hang as pretty. So now that I have that, and I'm gonna have to leave that on there, which means I'm gonna have to leave this. I feel bad. Is this gonna hit the floor if I drop this? I mean, it hits the floor. Like, here's my disconnect routine. I'm literally gonna go boop and let that back up. Like, this is heavy, and this is, well, it just threw the wire on the floor. Right around the nut, steel on steel, it shouldn't have a problem. It's not designed to hold the weight of the HMD up. It's just supposed to pull the cable back, and I might need to go with a 3rd, but we'll see. I'll leave it at 2 for now. My goal is just to get, I gotta see how far it pulls, which means I gotta literally see how far it pulls. So now I'm going to be doing a thing. This way. This is where a 3rd person would come in great. So, standing in my corner, there. That's absolutely as far as it should ever go. If I turned around in that corner, it would be like there. And that's already holding the position of the wire. Here's a giant thing of change. Let's do that. There we go. So this needs to be as far as it goes, which puts this here. So this is basically where this is getting permanently affixed. I'm gonna blue tack this here or something. Because this is the umbilical. Here's our umbilical. USB display port, and there's power. It's literally powered here. Here's the power. What the hell did I put it? Here. So it's the shortest run ever. I could literally cut off 12 feet of goddamn cord if I wanted to, but I'll end up wrapping it up. So this should be tucked against the back or against the power strip. And now I got to deal with this slack because that's exactly where it is. I can't fuck this up. That's there. So now it's a matter of dealing with this. Because it needs to be up. And I could just retract back here like that. Essentially that. And this is just going to pull out and then retract back. All right, time to modify more of those. Before I stop this part, here's the problem. If this rack was taller, this would be easy. The fact that where I'm possibly potentially standing, which could be as close as here, and I have to make sure this wire is above my head so I don't hit it. So I'm gonna have to pull real tight to the top of this rack. If it was another foot higher, it would, I don't wanna put a dowel. I don't want it to look any different than my living room already looks. It's just a matter of making sure that when I walk this way, that's gonna pull more, this is gonna slack more. It's gonna be this weird center section where it's gonna be probably low. I'm gonna have to just attach right here. It's gonna pull out, because it's gonna rest too. It's not gonna be like, oh, zipped all the way to the thing. I'm gonna do a double just like that, because I need stronger ones, not more. If I did one every 3 feet, it would be wonderful. But I'm going with just 2 big retractable mounts, and it should be able to do it. Worst case scenario, I could have another one that I hook up to my track light to get it really up there. Shouldn't need to. I could just jack, no, the track light's aluminum. Track light's aluminum. I'd have to attach a metal plate to the track light. People are talking again. So let me run some experimentation. I'll tell you how it turns out. So I just I gray tack these things together, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, this one's good. And then this one's fucky. This one doesn't go in. So I have a bad one. It's not bad, it still retracts. Oh no, look at that. Fix yourself later. Which means I only have the 2 here. That one's fine. And this one is the one I was saving for the 3rd in the middle if I needed it. That one's fine. So I do have 3 fine ones. It's just that one was, I mean, it was $17 for all these. So what I was doing is I was making a super one, which is just a double. Unlike the one on the ceiling that's a double, I want this one to be just more. I could stack 3 of these wide, just everything goes and pulls in at the same time. So I'm gonna disconnect everything here. I should disconnect these. I'm probably not gonna use this setup, although it wouldn't be the worst idea. But again, I don't want extra length. I want this to be as short and compact as possible. So I'm probably gonna take my tool, let the loop go like this, pull it out, take this entire assembly off. This way I'm left with oh, don't lose that. I don't have extras of those. This way I could just make the loop around anything. I could get it around a keychain or something and be done with it. I wouldn't put directly thin wire to rubber band. That seems a little sharp. But I could take just the spinny loop, or just one of these would probably make the most sense, because this is going to go around the rubber bands that are going around the wire anyway, so that's the shortest possible distance. Slide this back on. Actually, if I want to be real badass, and you know me, I'm real badass, I could combine both the wires into one tether. I feel like that's a little bit too far into like the combining, but maybe not. So we'll find out. So, headset, 2 retractable things there. That's fine. That's fine on this side. The problem is that side where the slack would be. I just installed, I should have taken a video of it, a doubled up with a nut and bolt and washers, and hooked it to the back half of the thing so I got the most amount of pull. So, oh, that sucks. So here's the deal. That's fine, I could walk under that. Except when my head's here, if I pull this way, that happens. And I will be standing here. So it's just a matter of like, I may need another one for the center. I'm not sure yet. Right now that's perfect though, because here's my little bit of slack. Here's where this is ending. This ends here. This is a slack. That's level. This is perfectly fine to go all the way to the corner where I want to be able to walk. I'm pulling that pretty hard, but I'm also pulling this, so we're good. I'm gonna feel it like end, and then I'm gonna be able to walk all the way around, keeping it up. This is the problem. Getting under this for this segment. Because I don't go to the ceiling. If this went to the ceiling, that'd be perfect. So I may have to modify further. I'm not going to do that until I've given this at least a couple days in VR to see how annoying that is. But should I need to, I would just remove that piece from there, take this off, and do a magnetic ceiling mount. I would basically just take a steel screw with a big steel washer and do just like I did with the magnets, with these magnets, and it would just go click. Only the actual retractable bit would come down with the wire, whereas the retractable bit here just attaches, so this comes off and goes up there. I would have this bit, I would have nothing on the ceiling. It would just be a steel bolt. I'd probably even paint it white and then go, because I don't want to really attach to the track light because I don't want to yank my track light down. There's 110 in it, not bad. But this seems to work well. I just need a stick. What if my grabber can pull it down? You think I have the, I should have the strength to just pull it down. It's not really under tension that badly. Oh yeah, look at that. I'm going to VR now. This is doable. This is doable and keeping it discreet. I know I can do it. That little loop thing, that's interesting. How did that happen? Oh, well, I have to attach this so it doesn't flop down because the actual weight of the umbilical is doing that. And I'm gonna do that by attaching this here and not over the microphone. So sort of like this. Maybe I just clamp it to that. So that will be able to go out and do its thing. I also got to adjust where this is on the wire, and I'm probably going to mark it with either those white markers so I see if it slides up and down as I'm using it, and then adjust accordingly. I might have to put something more. I put basically 4 of those rubber bands that came with this kit just around the wire, folded them in half, like you fold a pizza pie in half, and then shoved it through one of these. So I doubled this up. So it's just super strong. All right, I think this is it for part 3. I need a whole other day of testing, and then I will do the conclusion, hopefully, with anything I've modified in part 4. So I'm going to stick this to here, either with magnets. I could just use those crazy magnets and like a wire tie. I like this to be able to come off. That's my thing. I want to be able to take this off. Oh, you want to bring this over to Jimmy's house? Click, click, Jimmy's house. Right now this is the most attached thing because I'd have to pull the rubber bands out. I could replace this with a magnetic system, but I don't think I need to at this moment. It's just getting the flap out of here. I probably could leave all of this and just put one right there. If it comes down to it. If it comes down to it, either move this to there or add another one here. We'll see. VR soon though. Boy.